Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Peace, peace, peace. What's going on with you, with the good people over in Facebook world, Instagram, YouTube, all the platforms that support us over here on Revolutionary Wealth Builders on 7 Mile Radio. I want to thank you guys for joining us for another powerful episode of our show. We're going to be talking all things asset classes, economics, crypto, real estate, land, the job market, the consumer price index, you name it, we're going to discuss it. I'm going to explain why all these things impact us. All of these things are connected. Your 401k, your pension. If you have any questions about any of these things, tap in today. Call in, tap in, or post your question in the comment section on one of our social media platforms. And so I appreciate you guys joining us today, as we do every Thursday at 11 a.m. But before we get deep off into this conversation, I just want to say what's up to the super producer, 7 Mile Radio, Mark.
What's the word? What's the word, good brother? How you doing today?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. This is going to be a good show. I really hope that the viewers tap in to really get this information. Sometimes I get myself in a place where I want the people to kind of pull the information out of me. Mm-hmm. I don't want to just be running my mouth. I don't want to overpower every conversation or every engagement with the people. I want the people to engage with us today.
Exactly.
So my goal is for people to post in the comments, and we really kind of feed off the energy of the people today. So we're going to see what that looks like.
All right.
Yeah, I think we're going to have some success with that. So how's everything going with you? How are all the shows doing?
Oh, everything good, man. Keeping busy. Everybody doing the thing, man. We got an event this weekend where one of my Facebook friends has a pop-up event. It's like a real big pop-up event at Renaissance High School.
Okay.
So it's going to be like 100-something plus vendors there. So, we got asked to come out and do some interviews and get some coverage. So we'll be out there just building some relationships with the, small business owners in the community on Saturday. This coming Saturday. So that's what I got on the radar and the agenda. So, just building the team, building our network, and finding more people to advertise, finding more small businesses to advertise and work with, and building those relationships. So that's what's going on this weekend.
Absolutely. You guys are getting busy because you guys are going to shoot our backpack giveaway in conjunction with Think Organization over in 48228 zip code. We haven't nailed down the exact location yet, but we have a myriad of partners, and we're going to give away some backpacks, and we're going to provide some knowledge and information to help young people stay drug-free for this upcoming 2020-22-23 school year. So we appreciate that. So you guys are going to be busy helping us do our thing.
Most definitely.
Yeah. And so before I get started, I'm going to see if I can get everybody. Good morning, Kimberly Mitchell. I'm going to see who I can get to tap in with us. And so I'm going to share this post, and I'm going to tell them, like I always do, to tap in and get this going on my page as well. So everybody can have access to this powerful information that we're going to be discussing today. And so before I get started, I'm just going to take 10 seconds for everyone to take a moment of silence, just to recognize all of those people that we have just lost recently to gun violence, especially our young people and our children. I know that there's been a lot going on around the world and around our city, but specifically, I lost my little cousin over the last 5 days to gun violence. She was absolutely, positively no threat to anybody. She was an artist. She was a photographer. She was loved by the artistry community that she rocked with. And so I just want to let the Hogan family know that we love them very much, and they are in our hearts. So I'm going to take 10 seconds. To just recognize everyone who has lost somebody to gun violence, and just the effects of how it impacts so many people. What we have to realize and recognize, and this is just straight random. But what we have to recognize about people who easily pull the trigger and take lives is that somewhere along the line in their life, they have been hurt, harmed, maimed, neglected, abused, sexually, physically, or otherwise, to the extent where they believe that no one loves them. They don't love themselves, and so there's no way that they can have love for their fellow man in humanity. They have been so hurt and so broken that the way that they express their hurt and their frustration and their pain is through exacting violence on other people. And we have to recognize that sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to it. Sometimes it's just an unfortunate fact that a very good person can encounter a very bad person or a person who is going through something. And sometimes it's really just that simple. And so it's two lessons that I learned from this. Lesson number one, it is very important for the community to care for and take care of young people, because if we allow them to be hurt, they will become people that hurt others. That's the first thing. The second thing is that it is no time for the foolishness, for the back and forth, and for the grudges and all of that other nonsense, because we are losing the ones that we love at a rapid rate. People are disconnecting from the physical world at a very high speed, and it is important for us to keep the ones we love close to us and to continue to engage in problem solving and loving on one another, as opposed to a lot of bickering, arguing, and holding grudges, because we just don't know how much time we have. So that's that. So what's going on, Facebook? What's going on? What's up, Toy Lynn Hawkins? Where's everybody at? I see we got a few people on. So today we're going to be talking about the economy. We're going to talk about different asset classes, and we're going to explain why things are overpriced, why the rent is too damn high. Y'all ever heard that saying, the rent is too damn high? All right, so let's talk about rent. We want to avoid rent, but landlords are going to go up on their rent, especially if they don't have they have variable rates of interest on their. What's up, Yolanda? If they have if they don't have a fixed interest rate. So if their interest rate is not fixed at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8%, and their interest rate can be adjusted, they have an adjustable rate mortgage on the property that they're renting. If the adjustable rate mortgage goes up, or it balloons, what they call a balloon payment, they're going to have to go up on your rent. There is something that you want to be careful of if you are getting ready to get a mortgage soon, and that is called a 228 teaser loan. A 228 teaser loan is a loan that actually destroyed the housing market in 2006, 7, and 8, because it allowed people who should not have gotten a loan to get a loan, and they called them subprime mortgages. A subprime mortgage is a mortgage that is below board. They call them ninja loans. No income, no job. Ninja. So damn. They call them ninja loans. You ain't had no income, no job. And so what they would do is, because you were so pressed to get a loan, they would give you what they call a 228 teaser loan. A 228 teaser loan is the first 2 years your interest rate was fixed. But for the next 28 years, it would balloon over time till it got to a point where you couldn't afford it, and they just take the house back. And that happened to everybody. And so those 228 teaser loans were put in what you call mortgage-backed security packages. They put these in packages, and they sold these loans to investment bankers and to different hedge funds. These hedge funds bought these loans, and when people stopped paying their loans, when the people stopped paying their mortgages, the mortgage-backed security market collapsed with Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns and AIG. Once these companies collapsed, Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers were allowed to collapse, and they weren't helped. They weren't bailed out. Right. AIG was bailed out. The other banks were bailed out. Obama they did a pick and choose scenario where they decided who would get bailed out. I said all that to say we're right back in this space. Nothing is disconnected. Your rent will go up if your landlord legally understands his rights at the right time, they are going to attempt to increase your payments. And it is all because they probably are in an adjustable rate mortgage scenario where they have to raise your rent.
Kimberly in the comments said it happened to her.
Yep. Well, actually, it happened to me as well. But we were able to sell our home. We didn't lose our home.
Lose it, right.
We were able to sell our home. But we had a 228 teaser loan from a very well-known mortgage lender, what they call a ghost lender, in the city of Detroit, and the same thing happened to us. But we were able to sell our home and get from up under it. We took a hit, but it happened to us as well. And one of the reasons why I'm very familiar with how this process goes is because I was a part of this process in many different ways. I remember buying a 3-bedroom brick bungalow on the west side of Detroit, on a 3-bedroom brick bungalow on the west side of Detroit for 24 grand. I put 10 grand in it to rehab it, so I got 33 grand in this house. When the bubble popped, they evaluated the property at 9 grand. So I took over a $24,000 hit on the property. What's up, Delana Wilcox? What's up, Venetia? I took a $23,000 hit on the property because of the mortgage-backed security, because of the housing market collapse. There was a white man who owned property across the street. He said the same thing happened in 1987. He said it will recover. He said the next time it happens, be ready to buy. So this next time, my advice to you guys is be ready to buy. He said in 1987 it happened. He said he bought $200,000 worth of real estate that was worth over $2 million now at that time. In 2008. So the moral of the story is it happens consistently. It's cyclic. It comes in cycles. So be ready. I've recently applied for a mortgage and was told that sellers is not accepting FHA loans, only conventional, because they want to waive inspections. So most lenders only doing conventional. And I am being told that you got to have at least around $15,000 down, and the interest rate is rising. Everything you said, Toy Lynn, is spot on because you're going through the process right now. So let's talk about the FHA loans. They don't with the FHA loans, there are a lot of stipulations that they want to bypass. And the reason why they are trying to forego selling their homes to people with FHA loans or with FHA loan access is because they want to expedite the sale, get it out of the way without any impediments with inspections and things like that. And they know a lot of people out here are desperate to buy. So they are in a position of power where they can skip having to do business with somebody with an FHA loan. And they can wait on the next buyer who is going to give them the same price or more. And so, yeah, they're going to want about 20% down on the loan. So about $15K is about right. They're going to want somewhere between 10 to 20% down. And they're also going to want this process to go quickly because the window of opportunity for everybody is closing. What a lot of people don't know is that once these houses are off the market, if you don't get a house soon, you are going to be hard pressed to get one. And I'm not saying that that the housing market is not overpriced and that the housing market won't at some point correct or collapse. But even when it corrects or collapses, it's still going to be difficult to buy a house because companies like Vanguard and BlackRock are buying up all of the good property, all of the prime real estate to keep. And because they are wealthy institutional investors, those properties will never hit the market again. The only thing you will be able to do is rent. If you guys followed me on one of my last Facebook posts a couple of weeks ago, the IMF said that you will own nothing and be happy. They are trying to create a world in real estate where no one owns their home. They only rent their home from them so they can maintain control. And so everything that some of the things that you just mentioned, that's what we are studying right now. You're right. The lender said if you don't get a home now, you won't get one later. It will be impossible for the average person. And so, we're talking about it. There's one way to get one, though. There's going to be one other option. You buy some land somewhere else, not in Detroit. You buy some land somewhere else. You buy all of your materials, and you have a builder build your home. That's going to be your other option. Now, your mortgage may not allow you to do that, but that's where you're going to have to find and figure out a way and do it with cash. And but there are some lenders that will allow you a builder's mortgage where you can build your home from the ground up. I have seen people do it, but I'm going to tell you, you would be hard pressed to find land in the city of Detroit to build on, to build a home. But the next move is going to be to try to make an attempt to avoid the recycled real estate market and build your own home on a piece of land that you purchased. So that's another option. So essentially what we're dealing with, and then I'm going to pivot over into another space. Essentially what we are dealing with is we're dealing with a group of wealthy people who want to own all of the land and real estate on the entire planet. And they are exhausting all resources and pulling all stops to buy all of the viable real estate. They'll leave the garbage behind. They don't want 2-bedroom ranches in Brightmoor.
Right.
They don't want those. But any prime real estate in North Rosedale, the University District, the University Bagley District, Minot Park, Indian Village, all of these areas, they want all of that real estate. And I don't believe in buying any assets overpriced, but I'm going to tell you, if you don't secure a home through home ownership soon, all of the good ones will be gone because they're buying up everything. I'm telling you, their new motto is you will own nothing and be happy. And the primary source of equity and wealth in the average American's portfolio is in their house. It is in their house. The majority of the wealth in the portfolio of the average American is the wealth that they have acquired through the equity in their home. So that's something to think about. So what's going on with you, good brother? You got anything over there on YouTube?
No, you just got me thinking, man. It's just about just the housing market, man, and getting into the real estate game because it's essential for our people's progression right now. You know what I mean? We have a lot of people who are unable to buy homes. I feel like it's a need for us to provide these necessities for ourselves. You know what I mean? Like who was that? Was it the last show when the dude said that he charges $800 below the rent or something to help people out? I think that was your show on. You know what I mean? So we need more people like that to help provide some of these opportunities for our people. So we need to jump on that as soon as possible as far as getting in the real estate game and buying up some of this land and some of the good houses before they're not available no more.
Oh, wow. And so Kimberly Mitchell said, true, they want our property as well. We had a meeting at King High School last week and it went south fast. And so ultimately, what a lot of people don't understand, ultimately, the resources is not the cash. Cash is a tool that we use, that we work with. It is called a proxy for labor. It is nothing more than currency. It is a placeholder for us to have an account for how much we own. But you have to take those paper dollars and buy something tangible, buy something real. Real estate, precious metals, land. These are the things that are important. It's other things I don't really want to mention them because I don't want to get off track. But what I will say is buy hard assets. Buy hard assets. Buy hard assets. They know the wealth is in the real estate. That's why they sucking it dry to keep us from building wealth and leaving homes and lands to our children. The most important thing, so let's kind of go to the term wealth. So you guys know I have my definition of wealth. My definition of wealth is that you own it, you control it, and you can pass it down to your children. But there's a stool of what they call dynastic wealth. And on that stool, there is 3 legs to the stool of dynastic wealth. It's real estate, artwork, and precious metals. Those are the 3 things that dynastic wealth is built upon. Meaning, let's take your favorite artist and his wife, Jay-Z and Beyonce. Jay-Z and Beyonce are building what you call dynastic wealth. They own multi-million-dollar properties in New Orleans, California, Calabasas, New York, not Soho, but where is that where Robert De Niro lives? It's escaping me. But nonetheless, New York, New Orleans, California, they're buying this real estate. That's one leg of dynastic wealth. Why? Because real estate has the capabilities of lasting through generations. If a structure is built correctly, that structure can stand for 500 to 1,000 years. That's why real estate is one leg on the stool of dynastic wealth. Let's take the next one, artwork. Artwork has the propensity to last for hundreds of years. Van Gogh paintings are over 100 years old. The Mona Lisa is over 200 years old. Artwork lasts for generations, for decades upon decades upon decades as well. That's why it satisfies the prerequisite of being one of the stools of wealth on the dynastic wealth, one of the legs on the dynastic wealth stool. And then the third one is precious metals. What a lot of people don't know is over 98% of all of the gold that was ever mined in the world is still in existence, whether it be in jewelry form, coin form, bar form, bullion form, or otherwise. Gold has been all the gold that has been mined on the planet since we first started mining gold, 98% of it still exists. So gold can last for thousands of years. So that's why gold, real estate, and artwork are the 3 legs on the stool of what they call dynastic wealth. You guys just learned something today. All right, so who we got going on here? Let me see. Okay, we got Venetia on. What's up, Venetia? We got Yolanda Greer. Good morning to you. We already hollered at Kim Mitchell, Toy Lynn on my page. What you got going on over there, good brother?
Let me see. What's up with everybody on YouTube? Check in. Let me know where you tuned in from real quick so we can get a gauge of where y'all at over there in the YouTube sphere.
Absolutely. And so those are the 3 things and so just to let you know, some precious metals are actually artwork as well. And so,
such as what? So what about precious stones? Stones don't count as much as the metals, or what is the difference between the stone and the metal as far as wealth is concerned?
Okay, so it's difficult to quantify a diamond's actual worth. It is subjective. But the value of gold for thousands of years has been able to perform a specific function because gold and silver has actually been money throughout the history of humanity. And so gold, you can store the value of the energy and value in diamonds, but there's a challenge on confirming the authenticity immediately and the value and the carat, the color, the count, the weight. It's difficult to quantify with the eye, but a 1 ounce gold coin that has
what it is.
We know exactly what it can purchase. And so and that was a great question. Hey, Jemiah, how you doing? Glad to have you on. And so an example of artwork that is actually a precious metal is what they call a gold numismatic coin. An example of a numismatic gold coin is a 1933 St. Galton's 1 ounce $20 gold coin. This coin was created by the artist St. Galton, and it was created as a next generation coin from the $20 lib coin with Liberty coin. And so these coins, at one point in American history, were $20 gold pieces. They are about 96 to 97% pure gold. The rest of it is just silver and copper. But it has 1 ounce of gold in it. But it weighs 33.1 troy gram. It weighs over a troy ounce. So it weighs 1 point something troy ounces. And that point something is the silver and copper content. But it has a legit 1 ounce of gold in the coin. And that St. Galden's, look it up, a St. Galden's $20 gold coin. These coins are what you call pre-1933 gold. So you can pull one up and throw it on the screen for me, good brother. But it's called pre-1933 gold. Here's the special thing. Here's the special qualities about a 1933 St. Galden's coin. During the time that Roosevelt, during when Roosevelt confiscated gold in 1933 with Executive Order 6102 that required that all citizens return their gold to the Federal Reserve, it excluded numismatic coins. And the reason why it excluded numismatic coins, because the gentleman, the politician who wrote the legislation was a coin collector. So he didn't want to put himself in a position where he had to give away all of his numismatic gold coins. So numismatic gold coins or collector's coins or art coins are exempt from being taken by the federal government when they try to make you trade in all of your gold for their dollar currency. So pre-1933 gold coins are coveted, and they cost more than a regular gold coin for their numismatic value, meaning the value of the coin. So, and that's an example of a pre-1933 St. Galden's coin. On the front, you have Lady Liberty. On the back, you have the United States of American eagle on the back of the coin. Those coins are sought after, and if you can buy one of those in what they call a PGSC slabbed container holder or an NGC slabbed container holder, and it actually gives you the value of the coin beyond its gold content. So you can own a 1933 St. Galden's, pre-1933 gold St. Galden's, where the price of gold is $1,800, but the coin could be worth $25,000. And that's why it's artwork. So for those of us who can't afford a Mona Lisa, you can afford a pre-1933.
Yeah, the coin.
Oh, yeah. You can. Oh, I thought you said, hold on, my bad. And so you can afford a pre-1933 St. Galden's, and you would be satisfying 2 legs on the stool of dynastic wealth, because you would have a gold coin, which is a precious metal, and it's artwork as well. And so that just gives you a way of shortcutting and not having to buy $1 million painting.
Is that the only coin that is considered artwork, or that was made as artwork? Because I can recall maybe a couple more. I don't think I know the names of them, but I think I've seen this before as far as this artwork.
So you have the silver 1921 Morgan silver dollar. You have the 1921 peace dollar. You have the 1878 to 1908 Morgan silver dollar series. You have the peace dollar from 21 to 1950, whatever. You actually have constitutional silver, 50 cent gold, 50 cent silver pieces with Kennedy on the front of them from 1920 to 1964.
With Kennedy on it from 1920?
I'm sorry. They have they start with Benjamin Franklin on them, and the 50 cent pieces, and then they morph into after Kennedy was assassinated. They go into I guess they start at about 1963.
So then that's the next thing I was gonna say. So is it like a specific year in which the coins was made, or a specific time frame? How old does it have to be considered artwork? Do they make artwork pieces right now today that are worth anything as far as the artwork value side of it?
Yep, that's a good question. So essentially, what they did is what requires. First of all, they have the sheen of the coin. How does it shine? What type of How was it kept? Was it kept in good condition? These are some of the things that the numismatic coin dealers look at. They look at what year the coin was made, and then the rarity of the coin. How many of the coins were struck? So these are the things that determine that. And yes, some newer coins will become valued commodities in the future, especially when they are proofs. Proofs are coins that have been shined and polished 3 or 4 times to make them shine differently than the rest of the coins, and then they only make a certain amount of these coins. Right. So that would typically be like let's take a 2022 gold silver eagle United States gold coin, a gold eagle coin, a United States gold eagle coin. That coin in the proof state, they will only strike a certain amount of these coins, and then in the near future, that coin would be worth more than just its gold content. And so those are the things that kind of determine the condition, the year, how rare the coin is, et cetera, et cetera. That goes for some pennies, some nickels. What some people don't know is that there's something called a steel penny. They ran out of copper. They had steel pennies and steel nickels in the 1940s during World War II because they needed the copper to do other things for the war effort. So there are pennies. I own a steel nickel, a nickel that is made of steel, and a penny that is made of steel. And so they did these things because they were running out of copper to use during the war effort. So they started making some of the coins in steel. And so these make some of these coins rare commodities that create a more value. They have wheat pennies, meaning pennies that have wheat on the back. So, typically a penny has the Lincoln Memorial on the back of it.
Yeah, I remember the wheat pennies. I know exactly what they look like. I remember
Yep,
those.
some of those pennies are worth money. And these things this is artwork to the numismatic coin community. So if you can get your hands on some of these things, go to your local coin dealer and try to find you one, you can satisfy that. Take that, put it in a safe, and keep it for your children. Dynastic wealth, you pass it down. Why? It's never going to lose its value. And so in order to have things to pass down to your children that actually have a real value, a dynastic value, it has to be able to beat inflation. It has to still hold its value even when the currency is being inflated away. See, you can't take $50,000 and put it in a safe and say, I'm going to give this to my children 10 years from now. Because that $50,000 10 years from now will only buy you a pack of cigarettes. So if you want to try to pass something down to your children, it cannot be paper dollars, people. It cannot be paper dollars. So now if anybody has any questions, I'm going to keep on kind of discussing some of these different asset classes. But if anybody has any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll get to them. I'm going to get to them as soon as, I read it. So just moving away from, just discussing some of the other asset classes on the dynastic stool and why these things are important, going back to real estate. Land can stay in a family for centuries. Real estate can stay in a family for centuries. And so it makes the perfect gift to give to the next generation. And so that's why it is called dynastic wealth. And these things are important for us to learn and know because we want to be able to leave, we want to be able to leave our children something. We want to leave a legacy for them, but we also want to teach them why these things have a value, right? So that's just something for y'all to chew on. Random thought. Crypto is down. I'm not a crypto advocate. I don't love crypto. I do have crypto in my portfolio, but I see something happening with crypto. What I believe, and this is not investment advice. None of this is investment advice. Do your own research. But I believe that crypto is going to have one last run. I'm not telling you to buy crypto. What I'm saying is that this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the Federal Reserve a year ago cut the interest rates by 0.50 basis points to where we were almost at a negative interest rate. I seen 0.75. They raised the Federal Reserve federal funds rate by 0.75. And then I began to see all of these assets start to lose value. So real estate has starting to lose a little bit of its luster. The prices are starting to go down. There's not the housing market is not going through the roof anymore if you guys are paying attention. Crypto has taken a heavy, heavy L. Stock has lost over 20% of its valuation since the beginning of the year. So as the Fed begins to tighten with monetary policy, meaning they are no longer printing money and giving it to y'all. Quantitative easing means they printing money, giving y'all checks. Quantitative tightening means they are no longer printing money and they are tightening the interest rate. So now the interest rate on buying a home has went up. So now the prices of houses have to go down. The price of a house can't keep going up with the interest rate going up because the interest rate is going up. So the value for the price of the house is already going up anyway. So the price of the house can't go up with the interest rate going up. So with the interest rate going up, the price of the house is going down. The price of stock is going down. The price of crypto is going down. So I'm going to tell you this. In my opinion, at least one more time, they are going to have to print money. And they're going to have to give you money. They started in California already with the Gas Relief Act. They're giving every California resident $1,050. But that's the state of California. The Federal Reserve and the Treasury are going to have to print money one more time. And this may be the mother of all printing sessions where they print the dollar into oblivion. That would have been a good time to drop a bomb. They print the dollar into oblivion. This is my opinion. They are tightening right now. Tightening. The Federal Reserve is doing what they call quantitative tightening. But at some point, they are going to have to print again. And when they print again, they're going to have to give you some money. And when they give you the money, the dollar is going to hyperinflate into oblivion. But before it does, I would say, if you own crypto, hold it. Because money is going to go back into the crypto market and is going to inflate the crypto market into a valuation that we have never seen before. And when it does, in my opinion, this is not investment advice. If you own crypto, hold it for one more run. Hold your crypto for one more run. Do not panic because Bitcoin goes down to 5,000. Don't panic. Hold your crypto. This is not investment advice. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait on the Federal Reserve to say we are going to lower the interest rates again back to zero or even negative. And then we're going to print. And when they print that money, it is going to go into the stock market. It might go into real estate, but it won't be much left to buy. And it's going to go into crypto. And because it's not going to be much real estate left to buy, people are going to buy stock. They're going to buy precious metal stock, gold and silver stock. They're going to buy a lot of the companies that they believe are going to bang on the other side of this. And then they're going to buy crypto. In a few short months, the dollar will go and be overinflated into a place where you can barely buy a bag of oranges for $500. And then, but you would have needed to pull the money out of the crypto market after it blows and get out of it, take the dollars and turn them into something real before the dollar turns into dust. It's going to be a short period of time, but if you are sharp and smart and quick, you can do it. So what am I saying? For me, I don't care. I don't care if Bitcoin goes down to $50. If I own Bitcoin, I'm holding it. And if it gets cheap enough, I'm personally going to buy a little more. Yeah, I know. I don't love crypto. I don't care. It's just a business move for me. I don't care if it goes to zero now. It doesn't really matter. And when it comes down to choosing my people or my investments, I'm always choose my people. I'll burn my whole crypto and portfolio for my people. But while this game is here to be played, I'm going to play it and I'm going to win because that's just how it's going to go. But my thought is that the Federal Reserve is going to print one more time. And when they print this last time, that money is going to go into crypto and it's going to go into the stock market. And that is going to be your last chance to go in there and make some easy, quick money before the dollar hyperinflates away 6 to 12 months after. And then whatever you hold in dollar assets ain't going to matter because the dollar ain't going to be worth crap. So it's something to think about.
You should have been turned all of your cash into hard assets by then. Basically,
Exactly. And so right now, they're trying to curb inflation by raising the interest rates because you can't spend money if they're charging too much to borrow it. So people don't borrow money when the interest rates are high.
It costs too much.
Because it costs too much to borrow it. But they borrow money when it goes low. People don't just borrow money for houses either, by the way. They borrow money to put in the stock market. They borrow money to buy crypto. They borrow money to build stuff. They borrow money to do a lot of different things. But when the price of money is too high, all of those things slow down. And so the thought of the Federal Reserve is if we raise the interest rates on the money, people won't borrow as much. It won't be as much money being spent into the economy, and we can slow inflation down. That's what they're trying to do. But they're going to get to a point where they're going to say, okay, inflation is slow. Gas is stable at $5 a gallon. The price of a steak is $40. Price of stuff is not really going up right now. Everything is still. Now, all of the corporations are going to complain that they're losing money. We're losing money. We're losing money. So they're going to pump money into these entities.
So now they got stimuluses.
And then these companies are going to turn around and do what they call stock buybacks, buy their own stock, raise the price of the stock. The average man, the retail investor is going to say, damn, you see Beyond Meat going up. Time to buy.
Right.
That's what they do every time. Time to buy. It's going up. You see it's going up. Dogecoin going up. If you're going to buy Dogecoin, buy it right now when it's 4 cents. When ain't nobody talking about it, don't nobody care about Dogecoin. Don't nobody care about none of this crap. But we like a whole bunch of step and fetches, monkey see, monkey do's. This is all we do. Buy, the price going up. And so then we all jump on the train at the wrong time. The time to buy all of this bull crap, if you're going to buy it. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not telling you it's a good investment. But if you're going to buy this bull crap, buy it now. Buy XRP as 30 cents. Don't buy XRP when it's $1.80 because it's going to go back up to $1.80. And that's when y'all going to buy it. If you're going to buy this crap, you buy it today.
Buy it cheap.
Yep. Buy Cardano right now where it's 50 cents. Buy Dogecoin right now where it's 6 cents. You know when I bought Dogecoin at 4 cents. I sold Dogecoin at 37 cents. I don't care that it went to 75 cents. I got my money and got up out of there. You know what I'm saying? It's a game. Play the game. Buy low, sell high. Even Litecoin. It's time to buy. Litecoin at $50. Litecoin was at $400 7 months ago. It's at $50. Buy Litecoin right now. You see what I'm saying? I don't think Bitcoin is cheap enough to buy it. I ain't buying Bitcoin at 18K. I bought Bitcoin before at 7,000. So 18K ain't cheap to me. But people who bought Bitcoin at 60K, they probably think 18K is cheap. But I bought Bitcoin at 7K. So to me, if it can't go into 7K, I ain't buying it. But let Bitcoin go back down to 3K. I'm buying a whole Bitcoin because I know that Bitcoin is going to go back up to 60K. It's going to blow through 60K when they go print the money again and everybody get to buying again. It's going to go to 100K. I'm going to take $3,000, turn it into $100,000, sell the $100,000 Bitcoin, go buy a whole bunch of acres of land and a house with $3,000. I'm going to take $3,000 and turn it into a house and some land.
That's what I was just for some reason.
What y'all want to do?
I was thinking of asking you this earlier in the show. Like, if somebody had $1,000, what is the quickest way you would turn it into 10? Or what should they invest in to
they not gonna turn $1,000 into 10.
Well, not like in one flip, but
Yep,
just
in
like,
this investment environment. If a person had $3,000, I would tell them what I would do.
okay, well, even with that case, like
Now, if they had $1,000, I would buy $1,000 worth of food and preps, because if you buy food and preps, you're actually shorting the market. That food is gonna be worth $10,000, so you're gonna 10x your money. The food is gonna take, if you buy $1,000 worth of dry food today, in 1 year, it's gonna take you $10,000 to buy that same amount of food. So you're gonna 10x your money. It's the same thing as buying Bitcoin, the exact same thing, because you gotta buy food to eat anyway. You feel me? Mm-hmm. I would take $1,000 and buy all silver coins, because in a year, you're gonna 10x your money. And then I would take the last 1,000, and I would if I lived in Detroit, I would try to buy a vacant lot for $500 that I can grow some food on. And I would take the other $500 and I would play around and buy some Litecoin, some XRP. And that is what might be the one that gets you rich. That $500 worth of XRP might turn into like 18, 19K. $500 worth of XRP at 30 cents. We could do some loosey-goosey math. If I bought $500 worth of XRP at 500 for 30 cents, that's 15,000 XRP, right? Mm-hmm. 15,000 XRP. If XRP go to $1, I got $15,000. If XRP go to $2, I got $30,000. XRP was at $1.90 9 months ago. So a $500 investment can net me almost 20K. But the thing is, if you're going to invest $500 in XRP today, you have to be willing to allow it to go to zero. If I put $500 in XRP, if it goes to zero, I don't care. It's money I was willing to lose to hit the ultimate home run.
Right.
That's just how I look at it. Mm-hmm. You can't look at it every day. It just has to be what it is.
And don't I guess take it as a loss. Don't beat yourself up about like, oh, I lost something.
I'm not selling until it gets to $1. Then I'm gonna sell half. Then when it goes to $2, I'm selling the rest. That's what I just gotta
wait until the market wait until it go back up.
And so why would it go back up? Just recap. The Federal Reserve has raised the federal funds rate, which is the interest rate, and that will have an impact on all assets. So housing prices are going to go down a little bit. The interest on a home to buy it is going to go up. The prices on all of our goods are going to stay static. Once they feel like they have a control on inflation, they are going to, as something's going to trigger a black swan event. It can be another lockdown. It can be whatever. But whatever it is, it's going to trigger them to have to print money at least one more time. I'm not saying this is the last time they will print money, but at least one more time. And if they do, and this is the last hurrah, they're going to print the dollar into oblivion. So you want to take that opportunity when they begin to print money. Once the stimulus checks start coming out, that's your cue to know that it is time to get ready to sell the assets that you should be buying today. And we're going to end on that. I hope that what we discussed today was helpful. I hope that you were able to understand what we discussed, but more importantly, I hope you take this information and act on it. None of this is investment advice. You can always reach me by direct message, by DM. You can inbox me on Facebook. Reach out to me if you have any questions on your pension, your 401k, your real estate portfolio, precious metals, crypto, any of those things. I'll do my best to help you. We'll see what we can come up with. I typically don't charge for my consultations, but I am actually getting tired of my information falling on deaf ears, and so I think that it is time to start to be compensated for the things that I share. Yeah. Absolutely, for the research. So we're gonna see. But as of right now, you can give me a call, and I'll do my best. You can give me a call, and I'll do my best to help you work through your all questions, all economic questions, all finance questions, and all questions concerning all of the asset classes. So this has been Revolutionary Wealth Builders on 7 Mile Radio. I appreciate you guys for coming on. Peace and love. Go over to YouTube and check out our Revolutionary Wealth Builders YouTube page. Like, share, and subscribe. Smash that notification bell. I want to thank the super producer, 7 Mile Mark, for supporting and, for holding me down for this hour. And we'll get up with you guys next Thursday at 11 a.m. on Revolutionary Wealth Builders Radio on 7 Mile Radio. Peace and love.
Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile